Hi, I'm so glad that you're here. If you've ever stopped for a moment and looked around your life, you've seen the accomplishments, you've seen the promotions, you've seen the job, the degree, everything that you wanted initially. However, you still feel not that satisfied. You still feel like, why do I feel still kind of empty, even though I see so many things are working out? And this is a moment where I encourage you to not be frustrated or feel this anger about all things working out, yet I'm still this ungrateful me here. You're not being ungrateful, you're just waking up to something deeper, because this is the truth that so many people spend their lives avoiding. And today I'm gonna share with you one cool thing and very effective one that personally helped me tremendously, and that might also help you start coming back to yourself. And this is no hype, this is just the thing that I wish someone told me earlier. And if you're coming back from this YouTube space, welcome back. If you're new here and you haven't seen me before, welcome. My name is Edith and I help high achievers to come back to their true authenticity and to do it all with grounded, science-backed transformation that doesn't require you blowing up your whole life, but through simple daily steps. And eventually, we'll get there. And so here's the truth that most people don't realize. You can do all this stuff: school, college, promotions. You can do literally anything and still be disconnected from yourself. And you can still call it success. They can still call it success. However, there is the one question about, okay, but do we have the same definition of success? Because usually success is just the expectations that the society has on you, that family has on you. Usually it's the conditioning, not the real truth. And therefore, there is no such a thing as one ultimate universal success. And so, before we begin, I challenge you to write down, what is your definition of success? You are the center of your life. You're like the sun. Everything is literally moving around you. Everyone, doesn't matter if you realize it or not, they know what success means. They know it deeply. And their soul knows what success means for them. And this is exactly what they should strive for. However, we don't really hear this voice. We don't hear this truth of what is our success. Because we have all these distractions. We have our family, our friends, our groups that we hang out with. Subconsciously or consciously, we take some ideas, we take some opinions from them. And then we want to meet those opinions because then we will be accepted. And so this is the first thing to realize. Usually, when we're still in the middle of something, in the middle of gathering, we don't really take the time and we don't get the time to really sit with ourselves and say, okay, I see what John wants, I see what Mary wants, I see what she is happy from accomplishing, but what I want, what do I want? This is the moment where I encourage you to take that moment for yourself and write it down, really think it through. It's about your life, so really take this approach of investing. Because maybe you have been performing your whole life, and I'm talking from my own experience. I've been basically, the whole childhood was about pleasing others. The whole childhood was about being very good in school and having a good job and being this type of person who is reliable, quiet, obedient, who dresses normally, who dresses like a good girl. This was my role that I haven't auditioned for, but I played it. And so now I want to encourage you to maybe stop it right now, because now this is your sign to stop it. You're watching literally this video. So take it as the sign and take it as an invitation to finally see what you could be. See what is really, really hidden in you. Maybe it was something you would never ever thought before. Maybe it was something from your childhood. The moment I started to see this differentiation between me being really me versus me being as a performer in the world, it was mainly journaling. Journaling is what? Journaling is when you sit down and you are with no one else but you. And that's the moment when you are starting to know. That's the moment when you put your light on things that you've hidden, that you haven't known about, maybe. Another thing is that we think we live consciously, that our behavior is conscious, that when I take a cup of water, I'm doing it consciously. This is all conscious. However, 95% of that brain that we have is not working consciously. It's working subconsciously. What is subconscious mind, or what it does? It's a system that runs in a loop in the background. We don't really think about it. We don't need to think about it. But just the way we talk, just the way we stand in front of a child or in front of an authority. This is all measured in our subconscious mind before we do it. And our subconscious mind is somewhat programmed, always. It has to be. That's a fact. Either it's programmed in a good way, in a successful way, in a successful, focused way, or it's programmed in a way that it's full of doubts, full of limits. And also, when was it programmed? Well, it was programmed mainly from the point you were born until you're 7-ish years old. Because in this span of time, children are having their brain run in the theta wave state. And the theta wave state means you are like a sponge. You take everything, like all the opinions, even from movies. I was watching horrors when I was a kid. I don't know why. And I was like journaling, and I was like, why when I close my eyes, or why when I feel a little scared of something, there is this memory that creeps in always, and it's usually from that one horror movie. But that was just like a random example of how much your brain is soaking all of it. And so think about everyone that you've met from the point 0 until 7 years old. And so now try to think about your life from the year 1 to 7 or 0 to 7, and see this timeline and go through each year just now with me, and go through each year of your life and try to see who has been the highlight in any way, in a good or bad way, who kind of shaped your thinking through this life. And so this is already a first step to be more aware of who has been maybe the author of the programming. Maybe I remember that even dentists, teachers, and random people have had the influence on me. And I feel like really every child is this receiver, because if we have as many information, we can then work through any situation in order to be accepted, in order to belong somewhere, because this really comes from our ancestors, and our brain isn't really used to live in this modern age. Our brain sometimes still thinks that rejections means death. And so we have to be aware of this, because the brain really just seeks comfort. And because this from 0 to 7 was the first thing that the brain got introduced to, the brain now encoded it as something comfortable, because that is for such a long time a known information. And it's comfortable for us because it's familiar for us. And so this is just a little explanation of how the subconscious mind is so powerful, and that it's really the only thing basically to change your life, and that it's all programming. And so this is really good information, because it's not your character, it's not your personality, it's just your programming. And so if you have noticed in your behavior some people pleasing, overthinking, having lots of doubts, not believing in yourself, this is not your character, this is not you. It's just the words that have been put into your head, maybe from other people that also had the complexes, and it's neither their fault or yours fault. It's just the fact that we now want to work with. And so don't judge it, just try to notice it. That's really the first step, and it's already such a huge one. And so with all of that, I wanted to put some awareness on the fact of how important it is to actually take care of the subconscious mind, of that programming. And journaling is really one of the best things, alongside with like 10 or 15 other methods that are proven to change it, that are proven to improve your life. Because once you journal and once you sit down, your subconscious mind starts to leak through your writing if you look the right way. And today, I'm going to share with you the one powerful tool that even amplifies the healing and that amplifies the fact that you would see your patterns way more quickly and that you would expose the things that you've been hiding or that you were ashamed of or that you might not even known that you had them. And that's shadow work. And so what is shadow work? In very simple terms, it's a process of putting light on the parts of yourself that you wanted to hide, that you didn't want to express even in front of yourself. It could be your anger, your ambition that could have been so extra that once in the childhood, for example, once you expressed it, you have been completely shut down by someone. This is the kind of ambition that also could have been hidden in you. And then, for example, your jealousy or your aspirations or your real passions, your real purpose. There are hidden usually all the parts that got judged, punished, ignored, or rejected. This is you pushing down all of these things that you once expressed but haven't been welcomed. So you push them down. You didn't want to express them anymore because apparently they don't like it. And so I want to be a part of something. I want to belong to them. So if I keep showing up as my true self or with my true opinions, I will be rejected, and that's very dangerous for me. So I have to push it down. But here's the thing, whatever you bury inside, it didn't leave. It's still in you, but it's just in your subconscious mind, running your life on autopilot, and it's not led by your conscious thoughts. And so this means that if you don't meet your shadow consciously, you will live by it subconsciously. And so you will keep saying yes even though you want to say no. You will keep overachieving everything to avoid the feeling of being not enough. Or you will sabotage your peace because you don't believe that you are allowed to have it. And shadow work isn't about being dramatic or blaming people or digging up pain for no reason. It's actually integration. It's you consciously saying, hey, this part, you belong to me. This part, you belong to me too. And you are creating this wholeness. And so shadow work is really just reclaiming back the power we gave away in the moment we were trying just to survive. Also, not a lot of people do shadow work, even though they know about it, even though they really know the real benefits. And they don't do it, not that they would be lazy, but maybe there is nothing happening while doing it. There is nothing beautiful and nothing comfortable happening while doing the shadow work. And the first week, it might not even give you anything. It's really just based on faith. And usually in especially West culture, everything is measured in time. And if you feel like you're wasting time, it has to go. And this might exactly feel like that. The first week, shadow work might feel like wasting your time. And it might even feel awkward, and it might feel like you're doing it just for nothing and that nothing is happening. But this is because subconscious mind and healing works in silence. Healing isn't loud. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to pressure, but it responds to the presence. It's something like trying to hold a scared child and not judge them, just trying to be there for them and just being there. And first, the child doesn't get calm immediately. You need to use a little bit of a patience. And so this is the same process with you, because what you are really is you are holding the scared inner child. And it's about staying there for yourself, even when you used to abandon yourself in the same moments. And it's about listening to yourself, even though you used to numb yourself in the same situations. And it's about choosing to integrate and not erase the parts of you that carry the truth of who you really are. And that's why mindset hacks and motivation doesn't work. The reprogramming doesn't care. It doesn't ask to run. It runs all the time. And so first you really need to go even deeper in order for them to work effectively. First, we need to go within our subconscious mind and clear it up there. Now you have been thinking about something throughout this video. So now what you want to do for the particular topic that you had in your mind, take a Pinterest, take a Google, and search shadow work for that topic that you had in your mind. Shadow work questions for relationship, for example, or for childhood, or for trauma, or for having the relationship with mom or dad, for being authentic and stuff like that. And personally, like 2 months ago, I've created a sum up of like 10 best shadow work questions that really helped my life generally, and that really helped me to become more authentic and more true, and to become like unapologetically myself. And it really tapped deep. So if you want, the link is in the description box below. You can download it and yeah, really take it seriously. This is a serious stuff. Be patient with yourself, be compassionate, and if you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to do it. But maybe save it, and one day it might pop up in your head. Okay, I now have like free weekend. Well, I might as well try it. And so you will try it, and then you will know. Then you will understand. This is everything I have for you today. I hope that this gave you some kind of value. I encourage you to send this video to that one person that you were also thinking about throughout this video, and that you feel like he or she might find the value. Anyways, have a beautiful weekend, or the rest of the week, or the beginning of the week, anywhere and anytime you're watching this video. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Stay awesome,